Hi everybody, this is Jen from Cookies, Cupcakes, and Cardio.com. Today we're going to be making champagne cupcakes, which are perfect for celebrations such as weddings, holidays, and especially New Year's Eve. So we're going to open up this champagne and get started. Woo! There we go. So the ingredients that you're going to need for the champagne cupcakes are as follows. 1 cup of room temperature butter cut into 1-inch cubes, 2 cups of granulated sugar, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 4 eggs, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of champagne, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You need to preheat your oven at 350 degrees, and I'll be back to show you how to get started. So the first step to making the champagne cupcakes is to put the flour, sugar, salt, and baking powder all into your KitchenAid mixer or your mixer that you have. You can also do this by hand using a handheld mixer, and if you don't have a handheld mixer or a stand mixer, you can use your arm and a spoon. So in goes the sugar on top of the flour and the salt and the baking powder. So I'm just going to start to mix those up, and I'm going to let those incorporate. After you've mixed the dry ingredients, what I'm going to do now is just put on my KitchenAid shield. This just helps this process because when I put the butter chunks in, it just tends to kick up quite a bit of flour, so this minimizes that a little bit. Some still manage to get out though. So I'm just going to drop each cube in and let it mix for about 10 seconds before dropping the next one in. And what I'll be looking for after all the butter is in is I'll be waiting to see the mixture look fine and grainy, like you would see sand at a beach, and that's going to show that all of the butter has mixed in and it's been mixed into tiny little pieces. So I'm just going to keep doing this, let it do its tricks, and then I'll be back to show you what it looks like when it's finished mixing. Okay, so the butter is now incorporated, and you can just, it's nice and grainy and quite fine, and there's no big chunks. If there is still chunks of butter, you just want to keep mixing it until they're all gone. So the next thing we're going to add in are the eggs. And then putting in your vanilla. Saving the best for last, slowly add the champagne. So I'm just going to let that mix for about another 30 seconds, and then it will be finished. And the batter will be ready for loading the cupcake tins. So I'll be right back when it's done. So we have the champagne batter ready to go. And what I've done is line the cupcake tin with gold foil cupcake liners. And you could use any liner that you like to. These ones happen to be from Wilton. So what I'm going to do to put equal amounts into the cupcake liners is use my 3 tablespoon scoop. And I'm just going to take a scoop, level it out, and scoop it into the cupcake liners. So these are going to bake for 20 minutes at 350 degrees. I'm going to finish filling these up, and when they are finished and ready to come out of the oven, I will be back to show you. So the cupcakes have been in the oven for 20 minutes, and now I'm going to let them sit in the pan for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to take them out to finish cooling on the cooling rack. In the meantime, you'll probably want to make yourself the champagne frosting, and I will show you how to do that coming up. So to make the icing that's going to go on the champagne cupcakes, what you're going to need is 1/2 cup of butter, 3 cups of icing sugar, and then we're going to need between 3 to probably 4 or 5 tablespoons of champagne. The amount of champagne that we put in is going to be dependent on the thickness of the buttercream that we're looking for. So what you're going to do first to make the icing is you're going to put your butter into your mixer, and then you're going to just cream it till it's nice and fluffy. What I'm going to do is slow this right down, and then I'm going to add in just about 1/3 of the icing sugar. Just going to let that mix. So I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of the champagne at this point. And then another, probably about 1/3 again. And another tablespoon. I'm going to stop and mix. And I'm going to add the rest of the icing sugar. Another tablespoon. And another scrape. So as I'm using my spatula right now, I can feel that my buttercream, the champagne buttercream, is quite stiff. So I know that when I put it back down here, I'm going to add 1 more tablespoon, and that should be perfect. I want to be able to pipe it in a piping bag, so I want to make sure that it's soft enough that I can have it come out and make a beautiful top on the cupcake. So you can see it's nice and light and ready to be put into a piping bag. And for these cupcakes, I'm going to be using a 1M tip. So I'm going to load up my piping bag, and then when the cupcakes are cool, that's when we'll put the icing on, and we'll show you how to do that in a little bit. So the cupcakes have cooled, the champagne buttercream is loaded into the piping bag, and now we're just going to a simple piping top, build up in the middle, and then we're going to start around the side, just going around and gradually building until you have a nice peak, stop, and pull away. So build in the center, going around the outside, gradually heading up, stop, and pull away. So for these ones, I'm going to put on some very shiny dragées. They're all different colors here. There's silver and pink and green and blue. So I'm going to finish decorating off these cupcakes, finish piping them, and then I'll be back to show you the finished product. So here you have it, the finished champagne cupcakes topped with champagne buttercream. Hopefully you enjoyed learning something new here today. And if you liked the video, please share it with all of your friends. We love to see you spreading the love. So thanks for subscribing. If you haven't already, remember to do so. And you can find us on Twitter, Google+, and on Facebook. See you next time.